Hello and welcome on the Lit Light Global Talks. This is our second live session, and today we have with us a poet from Canada, and he has authored so many poems, and he's a good consistent writer, and he's the author of the book Recipes from a Poet. And I'm also having with me the founder of the Lit Light platform, Miss Hareem Fatima. So today we'll be talking with Curtis Raynard, and I like to ask Kurtz, please introduce yourself to the our audience so that they can get whom we are talking this evening. Please, Kurtz, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Curtis Raynard. I'm a
Mhm.
poet from Canada. I've only been writing for a few years now.
Yeah. Good. Nice. So, uh, coming directly to you, Kurtz, tell us something about your poetry. What motivates to you? What motivates you to write this poetry that we have read? That's perfectly a classic poetry. Please tell us what motivates you to write.
I would say my grandmother motivated me to start writing poetry,
Oh,
but
wow.
Yeah.
but really love is what motivates me to write. It's an inspiration
Okay. Love
inside that
for your grandmother.
love for my grandmother. Yes,
Okay, good.
So, what do you like to write often?
Okay.
I write every day. I have to
Hmm.
write every day. I go to work
Oh,
every day and I unwind at night by writing poetry. So it's what allows me to forget about work when I go home. So mostly
so
I
it's like a reliever for you, right?
what's that? I'm sorry.
It's like a stress reliever for you.
Yes, it is. Yep. And it's a very enjoyable stress reliever too. Yes. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Perfectly. I have been hearing this for the first time that somebody is writing, someone's grandmother is motivating someone to write, and that's a great moral lesson for all our listeners and to the other aspiring writers as well. So, one thing, can you recite a poem, one of your
Can I?
poem, if you can recite it with you?
Like, tell us about any one of your poem you have written in your book. Like any one, the theme or anything you remember about your poems.
The theme was really about my grandmother and about her struggling in a nursing home, being away from all the ones that she loves. It's basically what the book's about. Uh, mo-
Oh, interesting.
most of it anyway, because I don't know. It's like I go into her skin and I'm writing the words that she wants to say. That's what a lot of my
Okay.
poetry is about.
Yeah. So this is some kind of a fantasy. You are talking to your grandmother, late grandmother.
Nope, she's still alive, but she has
Oh,
dementia, and she's
Oh,
her mind's not really there anymore. So I kind of speak her. I don't know. I speak through her through my poetry is what I do. Not all of it, but a lot of it. She was the inspiration for me to start writing.
yeah. For our
that's
Urdu
beautiful. Actually,
listeners,
that's really beautiful.
What's that?
That's beautiful.
या सो फॉर आवर उर्दू लिसनर्स मैं हरीम मैम से पूछना चाहूँगा कि क्या लगता है आपको somebody we have a writer we have a poet जो अपनी जो है ना वो नानी या दादी को देखकर उसको उससे इंस्पायर होके जो
One moment,
पोइट्री
can you
लिखी
please talk in English because we have, English viewers right now. Not in Urdu.
yeah okay good so actually I wanted to ask how do you feel somebody writing the poetry or composing the verses in love of her grandmother can you just throw some light on it to for our listeners here
Oh
viewers
yes, like when someone writes for someone else, like an ode, a ode to someone or ode to a family member, then
yeah
all the emotions we have locked inside our heart comes out through poetry. Some people use short stories as a way to, talk to their deceased family members or their, struggling family members. Some people, use any kind of mode. Some people even paint. And, it's really beautiful when you're capturing emotions, raw emotions, in a way that people can understand what you're going through. Like you have love, and love is abstract. And abstract cannot be shown unless you paint it on a canvas or paint it through words. I remember that I wrote a poem for my brother. He's in America these days. And like my mother and I, we live in Pakistan. And I wrote a poem called I'm Sorry, but This Is Life. And it was a conversational poem. Like he was the speaker in the poem, and he was telling us about how hard life is, and that it's okay. We're living under the same sky, so the distance shouldn't matter that much because we are still united. Our hearts are united, and
That's
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 why
a great
I made the title. I'm sorry, but this is life.
yeah.
So yeah, when you're trying to connect emotions with readers, with other people, you need to make sure that you are, you totally understand how you feel, and you get some kind of closure to your writings, and this is what you want to show to your viewers and readers.
Yeah. Yeah. Coming to you, Kurtz. Tell me, is there some any of your favorite poets from the classical poets? Favorite poet, I
Classical
mean.
poet like Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I like Shakespeare.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ron-
Then, yeah.
Today I like Atticus. There's a Facebook poet, Heather Whitman. She's a love poet, a soul poet. But
Oh yeah, she's
Yeah.
brilliant.
I don't really have a favorite. No.
Okay. One little thing I would like to hear from you. Any kind of do you find any kind of difference in the poets of the classical period and the poets in the contemporary period? Where do you feel there is the difference, and what things are more important for us? Is this was it a classical period was good, or the poetry that we compose these days, like we say, like you said, the Whitman or the free verse poetry? What do you feel is better? Free verse poetry or those classical ballads and etc., sonnets, etc.? What do you feel
In short,
is
he's asking do you feel that today's poets are better, or the classical ones like Shakespeare? What are the main differences you feel?
I think we're all good, to be honest. Myself, I
Exactly.
have to rhyme when I write poetry. I can't just do free verse. It has to rhyme. That's how it flows for me. That's just how I write. But I don't know. I don't think we're no better than anyone before.
I
yeah,
know.
yeah.
I mean, like, there's a difference that the people in old time, like Shakespeare or John Keats, even, they used to write long poetry. Like, it would be like about 4 to 5 pages long. And I think it suited their time because, we didn't have technology in those ages, right? And time was slow. People used to work slow. So, reading long poetry would be, fun for the readers as well. But today, in a fast age, even both the readers and the writers prefer using writing small poems about 5 to 6 lines, and we also write free verse these days because too much struck rules make it a bit bland, right?
Yeah,
It is hard to make sure that you're following a specific rhythm. So that's why free
yeah,
verse and small poetry are suited for this today's age, for the 21st century.
I find if you write too much, you lose the interest in the reader. So
Exactly.
you try to keep it for anywhere from 6 to 10 stanzas long,
exactly.
and that keeps them
Yeah,
entertained. Try to pack as much punch in as little words as you can nowadays.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
exactly right. I like the words from you. We should write only few verses, which would give a lot meaning in only few verses, so that we can catch the reader's attention as well. Yeah, well. So What do you think the what do you think the impact of poetry is on impact of poetry on society? Please comment upon this. Impact of poetry upon society, like you
Impact
write.
us.
Yeah,
Impact of poetry on readers.
Some stuff that we write touches readers, and like
Exactly.
I don't know how to explain it. It kind of moves them with our words. Words that we write inspire them. So there's
good.
definitely impact on society.
Yeah, yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
you can write about someone's depression and they relate to it, and then you reach out to
Hmm.
help them. It's what we're here for. It's what words do.
Yeah. Your poetry must have a good impact on the society. Like I have been impacted well, so I can say that everybody else will definitely be impacted through your poetry, because we have somewhere we have loosened the interest, and we are not catching our parents, our what we call it grandparents so well. Like you have a good tribute for them, so this is really nice. So, do you have any message for our viewers?
Any message for the viewers? We
Yeah,
all
Yeah,
have
any final message before concluding?
we all have the ability to write. So it's all within us. So and
yeah,
even the simple words can impact us all. So whether it's just one verse.
Exactly,
yeah,
because there's a universal connection between us all humans. Like we go through common things, common circumstances. Like we all have grandmothers, or most people like that have grandmothers. Those who have met them while they were alive, and they could relate with your poetry, with your feelings, with your emotions. And other people who cannot actually connect or relate to something we write, they get inspired. For example, there are revolutionary poets. There are those war-written poets who actually have written about peace, and such kind of motives behind poetry not only inspires but leaves a positive impact on society. So the pen is a
yeah,
powerful tool. It can
definitely.
do a lot of stuff that the sword or the gun cannot do. And it's
Yeah, yeah,
beautiful how it paints ideas on paper with our thoughts, and it inspires, and people can relate. And it's not only a source of entertainment or leisure for people, it gives peace to those who read.
That it does,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah. It puts color
Um,
it puts color to a black and white picture is what it does.
yes,
Exactly,
exactly,
exactly.
definitely, definitely. So, we have a question as well. I'd like to ask Ma'am Hareem, is a poet great predictor of upcoming days? This question has been asked by Muhammad Munir.
What was the
Is a
question again?
poet great predictor, yeah, of upcoming days?
Uh,
Can you repeat the question a bit louder?
Yeah, is the poet great predictor of upcoming days?
is the what?
Uh,
I'm
the
sorry.
Yeah,
great what?
Saqib is asking, is a poet great predictor of the future?
Oh, yeah, a predictor, a predictor.
Yeah, predictor,
Yeah,
Mm.
so
predictor.
poetry can predict in a way that if the poet has studied enough history, or has if the person is an intellectual. Like for example, if a person writes about common issues, like the issue in Kashmir, or in the issue of any kind of social problem, then the person
Yeah,
can become a subject specialist. A poet can, and that way the poet might be able to predict what can happen in the future. Like a lot of poets write about peace, right? So when they visualize what has happened uh, in the current times, and they connect it with what can happen in the future, then yeah, their poetry can actually leave a positive impact on those people who haven't even been born yet.
I
yeah,
wrote, I
nice.
wrote a poem at 3 o'clock in the morning titled World War Z. And
Exactly,
and
exactly.
I don't know where those words come from, but I actually wrote it. And listen, it's when you actually read it, it's all about COVID before COVID even came. Like,
Yeah.
so I don't know if I don't know where those words come from sometimes.
That's the poetry
Yes, yes,
actually. You have a powerful thought, and you cannot control that. You cannot control that thought, and you just jot down the idea, and that is how the great poetry comes from the poets.
yeah, we get naturally inspired by I don't know, we get inspired by anything.
Yeah.
I've never read a book. Well, I've read one book in my life back in 1986. I don't read books, but somehow I can read poetry, and I don't know. I get inspired by reading others, but I cannot read a book. Other people get
No,
inspired by
it's not
reading books.
necessary.
What's that?
Yes,
Definitely, yeah. It's not that necessary to read the poetry to write poetry, but necessarily you should have good thoughts and you should have a flow of thoughts which can definitely influence you to write the poetry. But to refine your poetry, to reshape your poetry, to structuralize your poetry, you need to read the poetry, or else poets are born, they are not taught.
I've written over 1,000 poems in less than 2 years, so
that's
I don't
brilliant.
I don't know where it comes from, but it just comes every day. Sometimes I'll wake up 3 in the morning, write 3 poems, and go back to sleep. Like, I don't know where it comes from. It's
Yeah.
just
Yes, you have a lot to share with people, but you don't want to talk to people, but you want to say something in an
I'm
indirect way.
I'm a very shy
Yeah, show
person,
your poetry. Mhm.
but
Great.
I'm not shy with my poetry at all. I say what
Exactly.
I want to say.
Your poetry is like a mode of talking to people through
It's
a veil without having to socialize with them directly.
it's my voice. Yes.
Yes. Very well. It was really nice to talk to you, Mr. Curtis Raynard. And I think we should end the session now. If Hareem ma'am would like to ask something.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah,
have
I think we
anything to share with the viewers about poetry or like any kind of final inspirational words that you want to share with them? Anything about life or any kind of writing related tip or life related tip you want to give them?
Uh, just that words inspire, and
Mhm.
they the feelings in us are able to come out to be shared with the world, and people touch those. I don't really know.
yeah, yeah. No, you
Brilliant.
know very much. I can see that you know very much.
Oh, and where can we buy your book from? From Amazon?
I self-published it on Amazon. Yes, my second book. There's a firm in New York that's going to publish it for me. But my first book, I self-published it. It's only on Amazon. That's correct. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
great. We'll
amazing.
share your Amazon link on, the post here
Yeah.
so that we can, make sure that more readers be able to connect with you and your writing.
I,
And be sure to share, your new book link with us as well, because we would love for our viewers to know more about what you wrote on
I'm losing you.
Yeah, is connection problem from the Hareem side. Have to get it
say
well. No. Okay, it is really nice to talk to you, Mr. Kurtz. I have seen this was the first time I'm seeing somebody
as well.
writing realistic poetry on grandmother, and I'm really uh, influenced through your words. Either you talk very less, but I'm definitely you leave a good impression on your listeners, on your viewers. It's really nice. So I think so. I'll end the session here. Definitely, we'll talk sometime again, inshallah. Uh, okay, take care and stay safe.
You as well. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Okay.
It was really nice. Thank you.
Yes, it was. Thank you.
Thank you. So for our viewers, I would like to tell them that the book Recipes of a Poet from a Poet can be brought from the Amazon. It's available there. So everybody who's interested to write the poet, to read the poetry on grandmother, and it's definitely a spiritual poetry. It has been just weaved into the end rhyme, and I have read many of his poems. It's really great poetry. You can just read it from there, from Amazon. Thank you so much for bearing us, and thank you, Mr. Curtis Raynard. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.